We had a big area of low pressure along the east coast that has started to exit off towards the northeast, replacing that an influx of drier air right now working its way across the southeast. You can even see some orange shades of color kind of peeking in over here over southeast Louisiana on the water vapor loop. Notice the flow kind of moving from northwest to southeast. So it's a continental airflow that's bringing in that dry air here locally. So that's going to kind of limit cloud cover, which is going to ultimately limit rain chances for our forecast. Now along the immediate coast, we could see a passing shower too. You can see most of the rain right now offshore, but they could sneak their way just to the north into the immediate coastline, but inland areas expected to remain dry for today. So how long will this dry weather last? We'll give you a clue at that. Weekend is looking to be shaping up okay in terms of rain chances. It's just going to be the heat that we're going to have to contend with. We're not talking about oppressive humidity, so it feels like temperatures not going to be exceeding 100 degrees. It's just here we are in the middle of September and we're still dealing with 90s in terms of temperatures for our plans. So for Live After 5 tomorrow evening, you can see we're going to start the event in the low 90s and we're going to end the event in the low 80s. So dress comfortably, stay hydrated for all those plans that you may have. Southern off this week, LSU playing Southeastern, so kind of an in-state rivalry, so to speak. LSU going to be kicking off at 6:45 and the temperature there still going to be 86 degrees in Death Valley at that 6:45 kickoff and only dropping down into the upper 70s by the end of the game. If you're going to be tailgating, expect highs maybe sneaking into the mid 90s. Feels like temperatures may be sneaking even into the upper 90s, especially with all the concrete around the campus for those tailgating purposes. So yeah, zeroed out rain chances all the way through the rest of this week, but we do start to see a pattern change beginning to take place as we go into the middle of next week. That as we see a cutoff low begin to develop across the central plains, and that's going to drive some weather our way. So let's give you a first alert to what we're tracking next, and you can see a snapshot of that cutoff low where the positioning is expected to be on Tuesday right here near the Arklatex, and it's going to be meandering here, and that means slow movement with this system, which could allow for increased rain chances for a couple of days. So the low pressure gets separated from the jet stream, meaning it stalls or very slowly moves. It's not really being steered by anything at that point. The timing of this is expected to take place during the middle of next week, so think kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even lingering into Thursday. Impacts, uncertainty remains on how strong or heavy storms may get, so we'll keep our eyes out for any potential for severe weather and also the potential for any flood concerns that may materialize. A first alert to the tropics. We still have Tropical Storm Gabrielle, but Gabrielle, a lot of the convection, the deeper cloud cover, very separated from the circulation. We can actually make out the center of circulation here on a very poorly organized tropical storm with maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. Still dealing with some wind shear along its northern fringe. It is expected to escape some of that wind shear in the coming days, so a slow but gradual strengthening is expected to take place once it gets closer to Bermuda, but a little bit of some weakening may take place as we head towards the end of the week and the weekend, just because of how poorly organized it is. May swing close to Bermuda, but looks to bypass it towards the east, and there you see that strengthening up to a hurricane status, Category 1, as we make our way towards the midpoint of next week. Off the coast of Africa, another wave is emerging. We were watching another wave. That one has been kind of fizzled out, so 20% chance of future development with this one. You can see the possible formation area as it moves to the intertropical convergence zone. We'll keep our eyes out, but as of right now, long-range models not suggesting this one will be much for us to worry about here in the Gulf Coast region. So we're going to keep things dry but hot, high temperatures in the 90s for the foreseeable future. You can see as we make our way into the fall, on Monday, it's not going to be feeling much like fall with 92. Now we're going to increase clouds and rain in the forecast for Tuesday and Wednesday. That is the reason for the shaving off of those temperatures. So it's not because we're going to see cooler air make its way through. Notice how morning lows are actually going to be increasing as we move into those first days of fall.